Hello, everyone, and welcome back to A Musician's Guide to Reaper. In part 3 today, we're going to discuss 3 ways to create tracks and import material. So let's dive right in. All right, the first way to create tracks in Reaper is to go to our track menu. Really simple. Click on this, insert new track. You can also use short or hotkeys, Control T in Windows, Command T in Mac. And let's go ahead and do that. So we've created a track. How else can we create a track in Reaper? Well, up here in the track control panel, remember this is the track control panel, this is the mixer control panel. Looks like a mixer, like a console. In the track control panel, we can right click, insert new track. We can also right click and insert multiple tracks. How many tracks do we want? Let's insert 10. Boom, there we go. We've inserted all these tracks. Now, do we want to remove tracks? Well, if we want to remove tracks, we can highlight a track we want to remove. We can right click it and choose remove tracks. We can also click on a track and hit the delete key and it's gone. We can also remove multiple tracks. If we want to highlight the first one, say we want to get rid of all these, go to the last one, hold down our shift key and click on that. It highlights all those tracks and boom, they're all gone. So that is inserting and creating tracks. Now, let's move on to the second thing, which is importing material. Now, there's a couple ways we can do this. Say you've got a guy in your rehearsal space that records the stuff for you, and he's maybe using a different DAW, or he may be recording them directly to some device, and he wants to give you the multi-track, so he gives you the WAV files. He gives you some good, high-quality WAV files. So you put them on your thumb drive, bring them home, and all you have to do is import them into Reaper. Now, the great thing about Reaper is it doesn't take a whole lot of computer power to pull these tracks and run them directly from your thumb drive. So if you'd like to do that, that's great. Also, and we'll discover this in a more advanced session of Musician's Guide to Reaper, you can actually run the Reaper application directly off of an external hard drive or a thumb drive. And it's great. For what we're doing, it doesn't take a whole lot of computer power to do it quick. It's cool like that. Well, let's talk about importing that session. So the guy that recorded the rehearsal for you gives you the WAV files. You bring them home. You run them directly off your external drive, or you can copy them onto your computer, whichever you prefer. I'd say try both and see what's more convenient for you. We'll go to Insert and Insert Media File. Now, Reaper takes all kind of media files, including video. It will do video as well, but that's for another series. Okay, let's see here. Where did I put that? We went to music, and let's go to our rehearsal from July 27th. And here are our WAV files. We have 12 tracks being recorded. And so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and import all of those by doing the standard Windows and Macs the same way. The standard way of selecting all tracks would be click on the first one, hold down your shift key, click on the last one, and click open. Now Reaper's going to ask you, do you want to put these on separate tracks or do you want them on a single track? Well, this is a multi-track session, so of course we want them on separate tracks. So let's click separate tracks. Now what's Reaper doing right here? It says building peaks. Well, Reaper is creating a separate file for each WAV file called a peak file. And those peak files store information about the tracks to help Reaper be non-destructive in your editing. Reaper's great for non-destructive editing and still remaining accurate. All right, our peak files are finishing up here, and we're waiting on the last one to just go through. Come on, there you go. That's it. Now all our peak files are done. Our session is ready to go. So let's click on our Go to Start of Project, aka Return to Zero, Rewind, whatever you want to call it, and boom. Goes right back to the beginning of our session. We can use our mouse wheel. If we just hold our mouse over this area, the envelope area here, and use our scroll wheel, it will zoom in and out on our waveforms. We can also use the scroll bar here, and we can adjust the size to, let's go ahead and just fit that there, and now we can see everything. And there we go. There's our project. On our keyboard here, our keyboard 2 channel, we can see here that even though we had it armed and recorded, we didn't record anything here. So your preference, whether you want to or not. Me, I usually, if I have an empty track like that, I'll highlight it, delete it, get rid of it. Don't need it. So there we go. Save me some space, right? All right, so we've got our track material imported. Let's go ahead and find a place here that looks like we got everything playing, and let's go ahead and check it out and see what it sounds like. All right, so everything sounds like it's in place. All right, so now that we have everything in here, and now that everything looks like it's playing correctly, everything looks good, we want to go ahead and save this. Up here in the upper left-hand corner, you see where it says Unsaved Project. Let's click on File, Save Project As, Rehearsal 080517, just an arbitrary name. You can name it anything you want to, something that's meaningful. And down here, I suggest that you create subdirectory for project, have that checked, and then move all media into project directory. That way, everything is kept in a folder automatically, and you don't have a bunch of WAV files from a bunch of different projects sitting out there somewhere that you like, where did that come from? So now, if you want to copy the media into the project folder instead of move it, you can click here and use that. That way, if you want to keep the original source file separate, you're free to do so. In this case, we want to go ahead and just move them all over there, and we'll just go ahead and save that. Now our project is saved. All right, the final way. We're going to close this project. The final thing we can do is go ahead and import a project. Say, for example, where I rehearse, we use REAPER to record our rehearsal sessions, and we save that project, copy it along with our WAV files to our external hard drive, bring it home, put it on the computer, and we can go ahead and open that right up here by clicking on the Open button. The Open button right here, or you can click File Open, or you can hit Control-O, just any of the standard ways you want to open files. So let's go here, let's go to rehearsal from the first, and let's go ahead and click here. And here is our session from August 1st. I'll hit return to 0. See the entire session here. You see we had one recording session where we went through, and then we had another little one on the end because I believe here we stopped and took a break for a while and discussed a few things, and then we went back to recording. Before we play our session, I want you to notice one thing. When this project was saved, all the tracks were armed. Let's go ahead and disarm those tracks so we don't accidentally hit record and overwrite anything. And the way we can do that is we can just click on the first track, shift click on the last track, and we've got all our tracks selected, and then we just hit the record arm button. Now, there we go. They're all deselected. So let's listen to our source here and make sure everything sounds okay. Okay, so it's working. Everything looks good. Mixing that and getting it set up to where we can hear things a little better and all that, that's going to be for another episode. But until then, we're done for the day. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. Comments below, always welcome. Well, most of them are welcome. You know how it is on YouTube, right? But anyway, I hope this helped, and stay tuned for the next one. We'll be back with it as soon as we can. Thanks, and have a good one.